One more preseason game, that's tonight in Buffalo, and you will see on the ice for the visitors pretty much the full roster, meaning the full real roster, which also means there'll be another chance to see that power play. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports, and this is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates, the other two teams in town that I cover, right where you found this. Penguins versus Sabres is a 7:08 p.m. start in Buffalo. And with maybe a couple of small exceptions, guys that presumably Mike Sullivan wants to get a last look at before making the difficult decisions, is the term he keeps using day after day related to some of the peripherals. He's also going to have to keep a really good hard eye on that power play. I love the mechanics of this. I love the concept behind this because I'm in general a fan of the umbrella formation, but I really like the idea, the creativity involved in having Erik Karlsson atop that umbrella, flanked to his left by Chris Letang, to his right by Evgeny Malkin, and then down low between Rickard Rakell and Sidney Crosby. Eventually, in all likelihood, from what I understand, it will be Jake Gensel taking Rakell's place. That is an embarrassment of riches as it applies to offensive talent with the man advantage. And it also means pretty close to nothing when it comes to productivity, because if they don't click, if they don't do the right things, if they just move it around the perimeter, if they never shoot, if they never cut through the slot area, work between the hash marks, none of it matters. None of it matters. The names on the backs of the sweaters will be fancy. Some of the passing is sure to be fancy, but it won't matter if there isn't production to go along with it. I asked Sullivan how he feels, especially after that 0 for 6 the other night in Halifax, his power play is coming along.
You know, we've had a lot of conversations about this. We're excited about the potential that this group, could be very good for us and could be a difference maker for our team. And we also anticipated some bumps, and and just making sure that we exercise a little bit of patience and giving them and us an opportunity to work through stuff. And we will.
Patience is the key word that I called from that. He is stressing the need to stick with, and this part is obvious, the personnel. But he's additionally stressing, and this part isn't as obvious, the wish, if not the outright need, to stick with the umbrella formation, to stick with the other pieces of the power play that go along with that. It's not like you want them to stay static. In fact, Sullivan goes further to say that what he ultimately wants to see from this group is motion. He wants to see unpredictable motion. He wants to see star players behaving like star players. He wants to see them bouncing wherever it is that they're most effective. Because the other component to the tools that he's got is that they can all slide anywhere. I'm hard-pressed to think of one guy where you'd say, wow, you'd never see him over there or over here. Sid has managed a point. It's not common, but he's done it. Gino can play all over. Jake's been at a point. I've seen this happen. Karlsson can do anything, including down low, and Letang can do anything, including down low. So it's not like you want to just set the 5 guys there and say, all right, let's see some rod hockey, boys. Nobody move. Nobody budge. Just pass it around and see what you can do. No. When the Penguins, and I'm saying it like that because I'm referring to the Penguins of whenever, have been at their best, including with most of the current participants on the power play, it's been with a lot of motion and a lot of unpredictability. And before you have any of that happening for you, you've got to build a foundation. And the foundation, by its very nature, is going to be boring. So there is a chance that tonight in Buffalo, whether you go up there in person or whether you're watching on TV, is going to be boring. It's going to look like, well, these guys don't look all that special. And that's because they've got to start somewhere. And in a couple of cases, notably with Sid and Letang, and even to an extent Gino, you're going to see people in places that they're not used to starting out on the power play. So they're going to look around. They're going to wonder, what is the usual pass that I would make? What's the outlet if I get in trouble? What do I do with this 65 guy who's all of a sudden on our team? How do I play to his strengths? For example, his unmatched ability to pass into the slot. He will find your blade between the circles, but you got to go there for that to matter. He will find your blade if you go down low near the net, vacated side, blind side for the goaltender. He'll do that. He'll backdoor you. But you got to go there. And no one's going to know that at this stage. No one's going to at least instinctively process that at this stage. So you just, patience. When we come back, J1Q. Today's J1Q comes from Vince, who says, DK, what do you think the team should do with Sam Poulin? I understand and empathize with Poulin's issues over the past few months. Mental health is no joke. It's very real. I've had occasions of my own in which I needed to step away from things, needed help in stepping away from those things. The last thing I'm going to do is to judge Poulin for having stepped aside from the sport that's really defined the better part of his life. It was a gutsy move. It was a bold move. This term gets thrown around a little bit too loosely, but it's a courageous move. It actually is. The hockey culture does not often allow for things like this. Listen to what Mike Sullivan had to say about Poulin a couple nights ago after he performed fairly well in the preseason game against the Red Wings.
Yeah, I think Sam is a real good player. I think, our expectations haven't changed with Sam. We think he's a really good player. We think he has a lot of potential, and I think understanding and putting his situation in context, he missed an awful lot of hockey last year, almost the whole season. So, I think that takes some time, and but I thought he had a strong rookie camp in Buffalo. I think he's showing signs in the games, the exhibition games here. We really like his game. He's big, he's strong, he's good down low, below the goal line, underneath the hash marks in the offensive zone. He's really good at the net front, using his body to protect pucks. He can get to rebounds. He's got a pretty good stick, getting his stick on pucks for deflections. Has the ability to play center and wing. So I think there's a lot about Sam's game that's encouraging from our standpoint. I think the biggest and most important thing, and I'm sure I'm stating the obvious with this, is Sam's health first and foremost, and that's always been a priority for us, and will continue to be. But he looks really good. He feels really good. He's doing really well. We're excited about where he is and where potentially he could go.
And here, from that same setting, was Poulin.
Honestly, just to be happy. That's one thing I learned over the last couple of months. So it's something so, how can I say this? Like, it's something you want to hold on to, and you don't want to go too far away from being happy. So I think by, doing the things that make you happy in life, it's awesome. And I get to play hockey every day and, getting paid to do this. So I enjoy my job even more now than I did in the last couple of months. So.
Here's what I'll say. I'll tiptoe on this topic for the reasons that I just mentioned. I'd like to see more from him as a hockey player. I'd like to see more definition to his game. I'd like to see more identity from it. But you'd better believe I'm pulling for the kid. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everyone listening to Daily Shot of Penguins. Next Tuesday, everybody. It's not that far away.